Update time, and it's relatively good news for the 49ers. They've had to only make one practice squad elevation the day ahead of their game against Jacksonville, and it is Eli Apple, the 30-year-old veteran cornerback, coming up to help bolster the position that may be missing Renardo Green, who is questionable with a neck injury. Now, that's Alcatraz behind me. Do you see it? We call Apple Island, lockdown Apple Island. He's not going to start. Okay, this is, again, an emergency cornerback. Darrell Luter Jr. would be the starter if Renardo Green can't go. And there's even a chance that somebody like Chase Lucas, who played some outside cornerback over the course of preseason, would be next in line after Luter before Eli Apple. But you've got to have that corner depth active and ready to go if there's any question. 49ers have seen complete catastrophe there in the past. 2020 comes to mind. Brian Allen, coming off the practice squad, got roasted by the Miami Dolphins. So the 49ers trying to make sure the floor of that position is in a decent place before they face Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the fact that the 49ers made only one practice squad elevation tells you that Mac Jones is going to be active, ready to be the backup against his former team. And it tells you that they feel decently good about their receiver position, where both Jauan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall are questionable. Remember that Demarcus Robinson is making his return. He's not going to be at 100% full capacity of snaps in this game. So definitely need Jauan Jennings and or Pearsall to pull some weight. I think that it seems likely that both are going to play at this point, because if there were any real outstanding questions right now, the 49ers would have elevated either Russell Gage or Malik Turner. But both of those guys will be in street clothes tomorrow. They remain on the practice squad. They remain with one elevation apiece, or actually two apiece, because you have up to three elevations from the practice squad. The 49ers have used one on Gage and one on Turner. So that's the welcome news. The secondary, well, the 49ers saw Darrell Luter Jr. this offseason beat out Dallas Flowers. Darrell still has 2 years left on his rookie deal. He hadn't had much of a chance to play cornerback during the regular season for the 49ers. We know that he's been on special teams. That punt grazed off his leg in the Super Bowl. That was a very costly error. But as far as corner goes, this is a long player. They love his long arms. They love the fact that he brings size to the position, and they think that he can be a good player. And he impressed them over the course of the offseason. Now, again, this is contingent on Renardo Green not being able to go, but this might be the opportunity for Darrell Luter Jr. on Sunday. There's going to be Brian Thomas on the other side, De'Ami Brown on the other side, some Travis Hunter on the other side. I know Brown is questionable right now for Jacksonville. So these are weapons who are, I would say, household names, especially in the case of Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. I know that they haven't really integrated Hunter all too intensely into what they're doing over in Jacksonville, but that should increase from week to week. The 49ers can't take anything for granted right now defensively. They're operating without Nick Bosa for the first time to begin a game on Sunday. Robert Saleh has put together a lot of smoke and mirrors to create the best pass rush possible, given the fact that the 49ers have worked with many inexperienced pieces, and over the course of the past three quarters without Nick Bosa, it's going to be a constant challenge for the 49ers to remain where they are defensively, which is in a good spot. I mean, they've been, I think, sensational relative to the cards they've been dealt over the course of the first three games. But that battle is going to continue on a week-in, week-out basis. The league is not a forgiving place. The league is a place that adjusts, that tries to prey on your weaknesses. And if Renardo Green doesn't go, even though Renardo hadn't been great through the first three games, and he's been the cornerback that's been tested more often, Deommodore Lenoir hasn't seen many balls come his way. But even though Renardo hadn't been spectacular, his replacement, Darrell Luter Jr., a potential replacement, would be tested. That's just how the NFL works. You would see Liam Cohn, you would see Grant Udinsky decide to see what Darrell Luter Jr. has in his first NFL action. And it'd be up to him to step up to that challenge. It'd be up to Robert Saleh to make sure that his cornerback is protected. And it's going to be up to the 49ers to show up tomorrow and play with the same kind of intensity that they've delivered over the course of the first 3 weeks. It has not been perfect by any stretch for San Francisco, but it has been fiery and it has been impressive. I think that, everybody's talking about the sign-stealing comments from Robert Saleh, and that obviously puts the 49ers defense against Jacksonville's offense in the spotlight. But I want to know what signs Kyle Shanahan is going to steal from Jacksonville's defense, because the strength of this Jaguars team is its defense. And the 49ers, they've been okay, but not great offensively so far this year. I mean, they've scrapped and clawed their way through everything so far. All 3 games have been gritty wins for San Francisco. If they can finally create some separation on the scoreboard, some more explosive plays. I know the explosive play rate has been down at 7.8% for the 49ers, but if they can finally do some of that in this game with Brock Purdy back and with the receiver position looking like it's going to be in relatively good shape, given the news that I just gave you, no wide receiver practice squad elevations, then maybe we could start to see the 49ers morphing and evolving into the elite offense that they're going to need to be to reach the ultimate goal at the end of this season. It's funny because everybody seems to be a prisoner of the moment after each and every one of these games. And they're like, oh, well, the 49ers can't run the ball this year. Oh, this offense, they're going to have to win tough games all season long. The 49ers that we've seen over the course of the first 3 weeks are not going to be the 49ers that we see in November, December, January, maybe even February here in San Francisco. The Super Bowl, by the way, is going to be in the Bay Area. I'm sure they're going to feature Alcatraz and Ghirardelli Square. Do you guys see the Ghirardelli Square clock tower right behind me? I'm sure that's going to be featured on many TV shots, maybe even tomorrow, even though the 49ers are going to be way down there in Santa Clara. But the evolution of this team is underway. It's going to be ongoing. And I think that the reason that this particular game against Jacksonville holds a little extra interest for me when I write the story, right? I'm watching how this goes, and it goes chapter by chapter to create one large novel by the end of everything. And I think that this next chapter against Jacksonville is especially intriguing because with the return of Purdy, it does mark the potential for the 49ers to start really evolving and morphing into the goal, the end season form that they want to reach. And it's obviously going to take more than a week. It's not like they're going to be the elite offense coming out of the game tomorrow. There might be some growing pains with Brock Purdy back and without George Kittle and without the offense fully in there and locked in for the 49ers. But I do think that we could see some steps in the right direction against a very, very good Jacksonville defense. I mean, you're building brick by brick, right? I think that's what the 49ers social media team called that video series a few years ago. Well, brick by brick, the 49ers are looking to turn this offense into a monster that Jacksonville last saw in 2023 when the 49ers won 34-3. So we'll see what San Francisco can do tomorrow. So Eli Apple, the only roster move. We looked at Alcatraz. Now we could look at the Boys Deli. I guess they won one of the top 10 sandwiches in the nation. Carlos was telling me at the Boys Deli. Well, I had the Sandlot, which is what they call it, and it was awesome. Again, they'll be the sandwich of the day here from Francisco Park, looking at the bay. Everybody enjoy. We'll talk to you soon.